no problem. Got the keys in the car, in the front, for the whip, in the back. Yeah, her ass that bar. Have you seen it? No, I haven't. Do you want it? Cause I do. Baby girl, I wanna do. So I think the hook's about to come back on in right now. Shit left to give. Hella bad ladies with tips. Big old bucks for a tip. Bling bling roadie with the wrist. Yeah, 5 new ladies in my DMs. What I do? Seems like everything I dream of comes true. They are like not for me. They use astrology. Where is all my money? In the bank where it should be. Trust me, yeah, I'm good with my money. Stash it all away, I'm baby, no money. Check, 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 my flow out. Check, 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 stay be big now. Baby, you so sick, sick, sick. Yeah, I'm running out of beat. Oh shit, shit, shit. Usually I make a bridge right here, but you know, today I wasn't really feeling it.
Mr. Young and Foreign.
Kick to the gut!
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Hey!
Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut.
Hey, kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut podcast.
Kick to the gut podcast.
Kick to the gut.
Your podcast sucks!
Yo, what's going on, people? Hey, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing good. It is week 3 of my 3-week vacation. So I feel a bit sad. Today is the last week of leave, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, but it's almost the end of the year, bro. So it's like,
true.
you know, there's not really much left of the year to
You
go
see,
back to work to.
That's why I plan my leave in November and not December. Because I know December will be very relaxed, very senang at work, right? So I plan it in November where all the shit happens. This is a little old man wisdom I impart onto you, onto our beautiful viewers. Take the leave before the holiday season because holiday season, nobody working also.
Smart, bro. I'm gonna take your advice. I'm not even taking leave the whole of December, bro. I'm gonna be working.
Oh, well, I mean, hopefully there'll be less work with the holidays and everything. Anyway, we just passed by Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday, bro. What's the damage like at this point, huh?
Bro, I survived.
You survived?
I didn't spend anything on myself.
Whoa, oh, wait. You said on yourself.
Yeah. I only forked out my money for my girlfriend already.
Okay, you know what? That is worth it, I say.
I mean, that's what I call an investment for the future, you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, sometimes you gotta pamper others. You gotta give better than receiving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know what? I was very tempted, bro. I was out in town, out and about in 313 over the weekend. Bro, it was maddening. I tell you, if I didn't know, right, I don't think it was a pandemic, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone was out.
Dude, you know, I made the mistake of going to Suntec. My dad said, we decided to take my dad out for dinner, right? So my wife's like, why don't you ask what your dad wants instead of we pick a restaurant? Then he said he wanted to eat shabu shabu, his favorite one, shabu sai, not so sponsored cute. By the way, at Suntec. Wow, mistake, bro.
Was it like a conference or convention happening?
Yes. No, I don't know about, there was Black Friday sales, obviously. But I believe the PAP were having some big conference at Suntec. So Suntec was jammed, bro. When we got there, I was like, why is the Suntec car park full? I'm like, I've never seen the Suntec car park closed before in my life.
PAP, oh, is that the one where they had the news about the new variant? They were discussing it, right?
Yeah, so they like booked out, I think, the convention center.
To
have like this big, you know, like get together town hall type deal. So yeah, I should pay attention to the news. That's it lah, bro. Whenever I'm on leave, I don't pay attention to anything. I'm like, fuck it, just live in my own bubble of video games and wrestling.
I know what you mean, man. You just want to like detach and like not. I mean, you're always on the news. I mean, not on the news, but you're on the radio, so you have to kind of keep your ears to the ground, right? All the time.
Yeah, I feel like if I ever quit my job, I might become one of those hermits.
Become a caveman.
I don't know what's going on. Like, well, hey, bro, the boomer vibes is real, man.
I mean, bro, you're a boomer, I'm a millennial, and all these Gen Zs are coming out, shitting on us. So, I mean, we gotta somehow still keep our ears close to the ground.
It's okay, bro. As cross-generational talents, we still hold each other up, like Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton.
Yeah, I guess. So, if you're... Technically, you're Shawn Michaels, then I'm Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's right. Now we need to find our Seth Rollins, huh?
Yeah, I mean, okay, speaking of like crazy weekends and all that, I mean, it's the complete opposite in the wrestling world, if you know what I mean.
Okay, let me just say hello to Rishi, hello to The Shadow, everybody in chat. Welcome, please. Feel free to, weigh in on what you think of War Games. Or do you even care at this point? Because to be honest, like what you just said, bro. Yeah, this weekend, watching Raw, actually not just this weekend, last week, right? Watching Raw, watching SmackDown, felt like a chore. Felt like something I had to do.
Yeah, and of course, like WWE also announced that they're not gonna have any December pay-per-views short of War Games. Yeah, and they said they're gonna their new pay-per-view is gonna be in the new year, right? Day one. Did you hear the news?
Yeah. So wait, are they in competition with Wrestle Kingdom?
It will be in the same week, not necessarily in the same day.
Okay, because that means they're cutting, you know what they're trying to do? Because they heard, this is what it is, bro. I'm telling you, this is 100% truth, not fake news, not conspiracy. Remember last week we talked about we are going to do Wrestle Kingdom review? Start the year off with a bang. WWE were like, we better put on an event so that the boys of Kick to the Gut have something to say about us.
I knew it. I knew Bruce Pritchard was listening to our podcast, bro. It has to be him.
Not delusional at all. Sean Rick, what's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up, Sean?
I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. RZLZN. Rizal?
Rizal? Is it Rizal?
Rizal, maybe it's Rizal. Welcome to the chat, by the way. How are we doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah. Hey, Sean Rick is having a day off, by the way. Thanks for starting your day off with us. We appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, wrestling was going to be a bit chill, but we are always going to have fun on the podcast regardless, right, bro?
Well, here's the thing about pro wrestling. There's always something to talk about. If it's not the new stuff, well, we can take a trip back down memory lane. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. A little bit later on after we preview NXT War Games. You must say it like that. Cannot say it War Games. Okay. Cannot.
A bit of the William Regal growl.
Yeah. Put a gravity in your voice, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll talk about the Ruthless Aggression era because of season 2's just come out. I binge watched the hell out of it. No, this weekend I was at my mother-in-law's house, like a complete antisocial, sitting there with my handphone watching people talking. I watch. Say no, this is homework.
So you're saying, bro, in the future when I'm a married man, I can go to my mother-in-law's house and just ignore her and just watch wrestling at her house?
Good luck, bro, with that. Good luck.
I'll try my best. I'll try my luck.
Because I get shit about it all the time from my wife. Like, hey, why you never socialize, huh?
Okay, so that means it's just basically her talking with her family and you're just on one corner watching wrestling.
Yeah. No, they're watching like Korean drama or CNA or some shit. I'm in one corner like watching my phone like I'm watching some porn or something in the corner like, you know?
Bro, you give me hope, bro. You give me hope that even as a married man, I can still be antisocial. Thanks, bro.
Afternoon, Tovakin. Yes, it's War Games. Yeah. Let's jump into War Games. I will have to say, before we do though, just a quick roundup of this week in pro wrestling. For me anyway, I don't know about you, but Raw was kind of boring. SmackDown was like, I feel like Rampage at this point is the Ken Miss show. Yep. I don't know if you get that same vibe, but holy shit, Dynamite. Let's talk about Dynamite.
We gotta talk about the biggest pipe bomb segment of the week, bro. We gotta start off with that.
Okay. See, here's the thing. It's not a pipe bomb segment. It was a good segment, don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on it, but it's not at that level because it didn't break new ground. The pipe bomb broke ground. He did it for the first time. It was special. What they did was cutting, was lit, was on fire, but I wouldn't say it was revolutionary. Go ahead.
Let me reframe it by saying maybe this was more of like watching two masters tangoing with each other.
But then again, one is like a master, one is an upcoming legend. Like he haven't even made it yet, bro.
Yeah. Okay, imagine, bro. It's like Roddy Piper tangoing with, I don't know, who's like a renegade in the 90s.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
Same, great analogy, bro. It's like Shawn Michaels, a young, sexy boy that's just starting out single career. Shawn Michaels going toe to toe with Roddy.
Sexy boy. Can you imagine the promos Roddy would cut on Sexy Boy and call him all kinds of, you know what I'm saying, right?
Didn't Roddy make a very racist joke or match in the 80s when he painted half his body brown?
I don't remember. I remember when you say that I can see the visual, but I don't know what the context was. I don't know if it was a racist context or something.
forgot. I know he was fighting a black wrestler, whether it's Junkyard Dog or Bad News Brown, whatever it was. But I remember he painted it as a way to kind of incite the crowd, and also because the audience was like a mostly black audience. I don't know which home, but I remember that story.
Well, yeah, we need to go back and research that story a little bit so we know like the context of it. Okay, talking about that promo, like, I mean, this is what I mean, right? When I say that now that AEW has proper professional talent, their show is good. Look.
Yes.
Like, I know you like, oh, Mr. Young, here we go again. Who was not on this show? Like, would you consider this Dynamite one of the best Dynamites in a long time?
I mean, they have been, on a roll.
Bro, I
would
would dare say this is the best episode of Dynamite ever.
Really?
Yeah, or at least top 5. I mean, not that many episodes lah. You know, it's not like the long history of Raw, but I dare say that top to bottom, this was a very, very watchable, enjoyable Dynamite. Guess who wasn't on Dynamite?
Cody?
He was a little bit.
He was. Shit, I can't remember. Oh wait, Young Bucks.
And there was none of that bull. And now that the Young Bucks sort of have taken a bit, and I'm sorry to say this, Kenny Omega wasn't on the show as well, because as great a wrestler he is, like his entire run, do you think that he was as compelling as Roman Reigns?
No, he wasn't.
In fact, like he's the sort of wrestler, like, and it's same as the Young Bucks. They are cool when they do what they do in the ring, but after that, it's like, okay, I don't care. Like, it's a very indie mindset almost that they can't break out of, I feel.
Yeah, okay. I think I know what's the reason. You see, Kenny Omega came from New Japan, where their build-up wasn't episodic television. You know, they are great at hype or like vignettes. You know, maybe a bit of backstage stuff here and there, but basically crafting a story with like lesser mediums to craft over. Yeah. So I don't think he has had the ability until he went to AEW to actually hype up his rivalry week to week.
But then again, he didn't have the opportunity to do it, right? I see. My thing is, I don't think they know how to do it. Versus someone like a CM Punk. What made this promo so good? Just down to the nitty gritty, the minute details. You notice when they first got in the ring, they stood on opposite ends of the ring when they started their promo. CM Punk didn't even have a mic. CM Punk just stood there, let MJF get over. MJF said his shit already. Oh, woo, it's lit. And then they gave the mic to CM Punk. Like, literally, giving the mic to CM Punk got a pop. Like,
Build the anticipation, right?
Right? If this were a Young Bucks segment, they would be fighting into the crowd already, putting thumbtacks into people's mouth. Like, do you see my point about being like a professional wrestler, being able to... I mean, I know they hate the word, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're sports entertaining. They're building anticipation until they slowly... Like, what if they were face-to-face already? Like, you know how sometimes they immediately get into each other's face? Then you have nowhere to go, right?
Yeah, you're right. They took their time. They slowed it down. But I'm getting a very nice reaction from you, Mr. Young. Does this mean... remember when you said that you were waiting to find out what's the hype with CM Punk all about?
Yes.
Are you getting his hype? Are you getting what is his brilliance right now?
Yeah. I mean, okay. Like, to be fair, I've said this before. I didn't get his hype because I never really was there for the CM Punk era. You know, I've said this before, right? So now that I watch him, and now he's taking it slower, because he doesn't have to go like 100% in the ring because he's slightly older, that kind of stuff. He's got the grizzled veteran vibe. So I'm like, okay, so this is what he brings to the table. And you can tell there's thought. Same for Daniel Bryan right now. Like,
correct.
You know, okay, just watching this whole thing play out, you know, like talking about the personalities, right? I feel like, okay, someone like CM Punk, like Daniel Bryan, they get to do what they do because they're the type of personalities that don't give a fuck. Oh, if you're not going to let me do what I do, then I fuck off lah.
Yeah.
Whereas you see someone like Christian Cage, who's just happy to be there. He's like a company man. You put me in whatever program, I will do. That's why he kind of involved with the fucking the Luchasaurus and the Jungle Boy with the fucking Young Bucks and all that bullshit.
Okay, will you argue then in the wrestling business, if you're a selfless person and you don't really care about, you like your own image in that way, you definitely will become fodder for people to get over you.
And not just, I mean, I hate to say this, but not just in professional wrestling, but in life, in a way. If you're too much of a company man, if you don't value yourself and sometimes you got to say, okay, you're not treating me right, I got to fuck off. Then people are going to step all over you. And not to say that that is a bad thing, mind you. Like someone like The Undertaker. Well, okay, Undertaker, different story. Like he's been in a company where he has built that respect, right? Like, okay, you look like AJ Styles, you know? Dolph Ziggler. Like, obviously very talented people, but very company-minded. Oh, lose today. Okay, never mind, lose to this guy. Okay, lose. You know? But we all see their value. And I'm sure the company sees their value as well. And maybe they're in a position where they're okay with that. So, you know?
You brought up a great point because I remember when John Morrison put out a video on social media today, right, about his firing.
Yeah.
I think you saw it as well, right? And he brought a very nice line about how it's funny how you being made a fool out of. Like for him, it's he enjoys it because it's an ability to pop the crowd, even if it's at his own expense. So he relishes in this last run because he got to put over people. So some people have that kind of mindset. They don't really care about being the main guy. They just want to make other people around him look good and also pop the crowd.
Yeah, I think Miz is that sort of guy as well. I mean, from all I've seen, it's just that's why like I have a soft spot for Miz because he's that guy, but he's also like, he's putting over people, but he also made it. He at least got his world championship reign, you know?
Yes, he did. And even if he was a transitional champion, because let's face it, he is a transitional champion, right?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, but technically, who else from Tough Enough made it to his level? Even the winner, Maven, didn't make it to his level. Even John Morrison, who was a champion, didn't make it to the Miz level. So you gotta respect his graph, man.
And then you look at all the top tier guys. Rock, Austin, Triple H. I mean, at some point, there is some level of I don't want to say go into business. They understand their value and they will say no to shit. Bret Hart, best ever. Company man until he was like, you know what? I'm not losing to Shawn Michaels. Then they had to do Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, no, you're right. I believe that. I think you knowing your own value, even if other people doesn't know it, I think that will help. That will help you. Kind of give you your self-respect and make other people see you the way you want to be seen.
Yes, but the flip side of that is some people are a bit oblivious to their value, as in they overvalue themselves, and we've seen that as well, haven't we?
Of course we've seen. You don't need to say who, bro.
Me more, bro. Anyway, okay.
Feed me more, yes.
Anyway, chat, I'm sorry we completely sidetracked and talk about life lessons, but it's life lessons that we should think about. Anyway, I don't know why that would just pop in my head after watching the Ruthless Aggression Era series. So a lot of thought-provoking things. Hey, I'm not just a cowboy, I'm a cowboy with deep thoughts, okay?
Oh, nice reference there. I mean, you know what? The last episode, they talk about Tough Enough, they talk about OVW, so we can kind of mention Miz's story as well.
Okay,
when they review it.
Let's pull it all the way back. CM Punk, that promo, go ahead. All the WWE references, okay? First of all, it's funny because they know that this crowd, right? Like, for this crowd, the WWE is the heel. So you make any WWE reference, they'll be like, oh, boo.
Yeah, I realized it from last week when Bryan Danielson called WrestleMania and wow, straight away turned heel based on that, bro.
So I don't know if that just means this is a very partisan crowd, as in... Now, funnily enough, I saw somebody with a Roman Reigns Acknowledge Me shirt in the crowd on AEW.
Do you think, right, people who wear WWE shirts in AEW crowds get cheated on?
Yeah, they probably get dirty looks like, it's like if you wore a WWE shirt to an ECW crowd, I'm sure, back in the day.
I guess so. But I like that they have tribalism now, you know?
Yes and no. Like, I don't want them to continually reference WWE just to get cheap heat. It will get old soon.
Yeah, all right. But what I mean by tribalism is like, I want people who are very like defensive of their product, not because it's toxic. I mean, it can be toxic, but more of the fact that that kind of conflict is actually what creates more fan interest, in my opinion. Sure. Yeah. Like if, for example, if every single football fan is like, oh, I support all teams.
Boring already lah.
There won't be passion, right?
Yeah. No, there won't be a conversation. Well, it's like everything on the internet is both good and bad lah. Huh?
Of course, for sure, man.
Yeah. Wait, someone said, wore a Man U shirt to a Liverpool game. Did you mean wore or go and wear? Because that one you're just looking to get beat.
I think what Lavin says, he really wore the shirt to a Liverpool game, I guess.
You're a braver man than any of us.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean...
Well, okay, see, here's the other thing, though. Like Tovakin brings up, I like how AEW allows WWE shirts to be worn at their events, which is fine. Great for... not karma. Like visually, there's like, oh, okay, they're not being petty, right?
Yeah,
To the audience.
you're right.
But also, like, there's always this saying: you don't reference the competition if they are lower than you. Yeah, you've heard that before, right? Like, that's why WWE rarely reference WCW, but WCW used to reference WWE all the time, because if you are the bigger company, why would you want to talk about the smaller company? The smaller company can talk about the big company until the end of time. It's fine.
There was an argument that they said that the promo focused too much on WWE references instead of building themselves on their own.
I felt a little bit of that as well. Like I said, if this is a one-off, next week they don't do the same thing, then it's okay. Like, give us a memorable moment, give us a few, they went there, and that's it. But if they do it week after week, then it's, you're focusing too much on the competitor's product already. And let's not forget, the reason this shit is good is because CM Punk was a WWE star. Bryan Danielson was a WWE star. So let's not forget that.
I brought up a good point when I posted on Instagram. I said that they're using WWE stars to build up the next generation of AEW talent. And you know what? To be honest, that's the way to go, because literally AEW is too new. They don't have a history. They need people like how when TNA first started, they had like the NWA championship belt as their main belt. So they need to kind of borrow a bit of some legacy to kind of push it forward. But eventually, like, if there is going to be an AEW super show in the future, like their WrestleMania equivalent, I hope it's mostly AEW originals.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And looking at the people they have, like Daniel Bryan, like CM Punk, I feel like, they are there for the right reasons. I'm so happy now that Adam Cole is hanging around Bobby Fish and their promos are a little bit more serious and they're not doing this Young Bucks bullshit anymore. And really, I really hope that they're like, okay, we've messed around with our friends for a bit. Now we move on to serious shit.
The right position that Adam Cole should be in right now, he should be the one taking over from Kenny Omega. That now, like, Kenny Omega is out injured. I hope he's put in that position of like the main guy in the Elite. Then they can have some sort of infighting after that. But I don't want him to play this side character that he's been playing for the last few months.
Right, exactly. Who'd have thought in the last few weeks of 2021 we'd be singing the praises of AEW over a very bland WWE product right now? I mean, let's face it, like right now for WWE, it's almost like absolute cruise control. There's like, I don't even remember what happened on Raw. There was Seth Rollins thing.
There is some efforts to build up new contenders, I guess. But that's a problem because they are losing the audience, my opinion.
Yeah. Who's on Raw, who's the main contender for the Big E's title? Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins?
Supposedly, yeah.
Same few fellas, or what?
Yeah, what I mean by new contenders is like, I think they pushed Austin Theory last week just for a cup of coffee, yes, but they are introducing him to the main stage in a weird way.
Bro, talk about a weird way. Wait, did this? I don't. Well, my timeline is completely. This is how bad the Raw product is. I can't remember if the egg thing was this week or last week. Was it last week?
Bro, it was last week. It was right after the Raw after Survivor Series.
Okay. So what the hell even happened this week? I don't remember, bro. I watched it. Okay. I watched it. I don't remember a damn thing that happened on Raw.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, and I only remember that part of Raw. So okay, point being, right, bro. When I say they're losing the audience, I feel like if us audiences who are technically WWE fans feel a chore to watch WWE, means you're not excited to watch the product. Then you're losing the audience, in my opinion. Because if I'm a huge Liverpool fan, right, bro? There was a period in Liverpool's history where I didn't watch them for like 2 or 3 years because I was just so annoyed by how bad the management was. Right. Which is what a lot of Man U fans are complaining right now. Like they didn't like the board of directors, blah blah blah. Same thing with WWE. Backstage, we don't like the personalities backstage. And they're making themselves into the heel. They're creating their own heeldom. Oh my god. Oh, you just watched a new faction with Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and who are the writers now? You always got to keep who's the producer? Kevin Dunn. They're all heel. That being said, though, one bright spot in WWE, NXT is actually starting to pick up steam after, their big rebrand was a huge shock to the system, pardon the pun. But now I'm like, okay, like watching their Go Home show, I was actually like, okay, kind of intrigued. Actually, not Go Home show, sorry. Not even Go Home show. There's one more show this week, right? Yes, there's one more show this week. One thing very interesting, bro, you brought up. You said that the NXT is like getting back into the groove, getting the momentum again. But is it in time for War Games, or do you feel that their roster is not ready for War Games? That's like the main debate for today's podcast.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Like, and as we segue into talking about NXT War Games, they are going with this, and I don't know. I think they're doing it on purpose, lah. And they are just leaning into the whole. Okay, we know there was an old NXT and the new NXT, and these two things are going to war. And that's what is being sort of played out in this pay-per-view. So if you look at the matches, the War Games matches, the majority of them is new school versus old school.
I see it as well. I mean, they openly put it on their Instagram saying that new school versus old school, who are you rooting for? Yeah. It was a landslide on old school, by the way, just saying.
Like, even if you look at the graphics, right? The new school versus old school. On the left hand side, you see the black and gold colors. On the right hand side, you see the splash paint. So it's like, okay, they're obviously going for this OG NXT versus 2.0, which I'm actually quite intrigued with. So whoever came up with that, I was like, okay, all right, I'm for. It's kind of like what they did last time in WCW. They tried to do like New Blood versus.
But this is WCW 2000, right?
Yeah. Like, they've tried to do this sort of new school versus old school many times. I remember TNA also had it as well.
Yeah.
Young Bloods or something like that versus the old school.
I know they had TNA, they created like a faction, the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah. There you go. It's like Kurt Angle, Booker T, Kevin Nash. Right?
I don't mind they trying to push things into the future, but I like that they actually acknowledge. I don't want them to completely ignore their past.
Yeah.
Have some holdouts like, oh, this guy, okay, I want to keep the tradition of NXT going, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
There are some people though that are still not working for me, and we'll get into this as we look at the matches. The matches in War Games itself. Okay. Very quickly, the Shadow says, "Is Pierce and Deville authority figure?" Oh God.
No. Okay, I know what he's talking about. Bro, today of all days, I managed to put up a second screen so I can actually see the chat. What up, guys? Tovakin, Rizal said 4-0, you never walk alone. Okay, respect, bro. And all the egg puns are coming out. So I am so happy that I can actually see the chat live.
Finally, very good.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we are back to the NXT roster. What do you think about like the matchups? Does the rivalry deserve to be on the War Games platform in your opinion?
No. Absolutely not. Remember when Undisputed Era had like this long-term feud with whoever it was, and then it was all built like, now it's just War Games. It's cool as a concept, and maybe the concept is strong enough to make people interested.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm afraid that it will go down the route of Hell in a Cell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people just having Hell in a Cells for the sake of Hell in a Cells.
Yeah. Okay lah. To be fair, like I said, some of these matches have been built up. So all of a sudden we're getting a real close-up look of Foreign's face.
Oh, is it? I'm so sorry, bro. I need to stretch.
Oh, okay. This is like all of a sudden like, hey, bro, are you trying to kiss me? What's going on? All right. Kiss Foreign today.
Kiss Foreign. Donate to Foreign so can kiss him.
You just talked about spending money over Black Friday, and now you want people to donate money to you. What the hell?
Bro, that's called reimbursement process.
Okay, come. Let's run down the card, okay? I don't know which will be the first match. I'm going to assume this will be the first match. The first War Games match. Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, and Cora Jade. This is interesting. So on the face side, you have 3 OGs plus 1 newbie. And yes, can I say that Cora Jade is cute as hell?
Oh, is she taking over your Tegan Nox?
I never had a Tegan Nox thing. What are you talking about?
No, I think they gotta have one cute girl on the roster at least.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Like she got that cute punk rocker vibe, like, because she comes around on the skateboard, that kind of thing.
But I like that how she's aligned with essentially they're the faces of the match, right?
Yes.
So now in this scenario, the old school are the so-called the faces lah.
I think they are leaning into the fact that they know that people like the old NXT better lah. So
of course,
yeah, and this is their way of putting the new NXT over. And Kaylee Ray is a heel, has always been a heel. All of a sudden, she's de facto face because she's old school.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's
it is
weird. But I like it. I like it a lot.
So okay, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, they're the ones who have the issue, right? They have the longest running feud of all the people here. Toxic Attraction and Io Shirai, Raquel, and Cora Jade, they've sort of like had their run-ins for the past couple of weeks. But by far, the longest running feud here is Dakota Kai versus Raquel. But do we really care about that feud anymore?
It's been kind of cold for the last 6 months already, bro.
Yes.
It
And
is,
also, wait, hold on. Tovakin, do not call Cora Jade Darby Allin light. I actually like looking at Cora Jade.
Oh my god, rabak, bro. Rabak.
War Games. Anyway.
I mean,
so now the question is, are they ready for this match?
that's the question I wanted to ask. Like, I feel like you are hot-shotting a lot of their rivalries just because it's War Games, bro.
I know Io Shirai is going to jump off the cage, okay? I look at it and I question, even Raquel, like, she's still, you know, she's not that veteran who's had amazing matches. She's a powerhouse. So hopefully she goes in there and destroys people. And you know Dakota Kai can work, but like Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane, as much as, you know, they look good, like, you can't lie. We are men with eyes. Like, woo! Like, I get why they have all the gold. I get it. You know?
Okay, but like that's just a thing. Like, even Mandy Rose as a champion, I still feel that she's really, really green. She has a lot to prove. Unless you're telling me this match has a breakout performance from Toxic Attraction. For some reason, Mandy Rose does a triple flip shooting star press on top of the cage.
Relax. No.
Then I'm like, okay, sure, there's a breakout performance.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the Young Bucks philosophy on wrestling. So as long as they give me something that is built up properly in the match, then okay, I'm fine with that. But I don't know if Mandy Rose has the chops to do that.
Remember a couple of episodes, I mean a few long episodes ago, we did this watch along of War Games 1992. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we saw, I think Medusa was part of the match where she actually kind of like tried to climb out the damn cage and try to block some of the opponents and all that. Like that kind of wild energy, I feel like if the women can bring that kind of intensity into the match, then it will make it compelling. Because right now they are relying on spectacle. There's no story, bro.
Yeah, there is. Well, kind of. And then, okay, yeah, Tovakin brings up Dakota Kai's new gimmick, which is like she's lost it. She's crazy. What do I think about the gimmick? What do you think about the gimmick, bro? It doesn't work for me. She looks like she's playing a crazy woman, and the fact that she looks like she's playing means she doesn't come across as real.
You want to compare with somebody like Dexter Lumis?
Yeah, or Brian Pillman. Crazy, like he legit blurred the lines of whether he's crazy or not, you know?
Yeah, embodies it, right?
Yeah, so there's always this, like, you know, even Matt Hardy when he did his delete his, you know, that
even then also you believe it. I think because he really does embody it, you know?
Yeah, with Kai, it's like, okay, she's playing a crazy woman, you know? There's a big difference between playing and being.
Yeah, but I guess in terms of who would win this match, I kind of have to go for the heel side, and we kind of have to establish Toxic Attraction.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is the moment, and I guess they have some legitimacy, like because they have Dakota Kai, who's a veteran in there, right? So it won't be so far-fetched. She somehow, you know, causes that. Like we've said this before. Like, okay, Mandy Rose on the stick as the leader of the heel faction. No, she's hot. But like when she gets on the mic, it's like, oh, how many fuck ups are we gonna have?
Not there yet, but compared to 3 years ago, bro, she has made leaps and bounds of progress.
Bro, talking about 3 years ago, I think for our old time listeners, we need to do it one time, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Mandy. And this time you can actually see us doing it as well.
All this while is they're always wondering how you do the ASMR. It's
Mandy. Yes, throwback to season 1.
Oh, bro, I tell you all the season 1 tropes. Lashley.
Oh, come out already. I know that one a while away. Okay, then you got Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. I've said this before. JC Jane looks like a rip-off of Britt Baker.
Kind of.
But in terms of like who she is in this group, I'm like, she's like
Gigi Dolan is essentially just a orange colored page lah.
yeah, you're right. Orange haired page. I mean, you know, woo. I'm sweating a little bit.
But you do find her. I mean, like not just looks lah, but in terms of a compelling character, do you find the other two ladies compelling?
Yes, well, slightly more compelling. I don't know if compelling is the word. Like visually, I'm like, oh. I mean, and I see where they're going with this. They're trying to attract the boys, the guys, the men, right? To like, oh, who are these hot chicks? Then beyond that, can you hold people's attention after beyond they're hot? that's a different story altogether.
And also they're talking about how they want to make NXT like TV 14 instead of PG. So I think they're trying to push the boundaries of whether it can be a bit violent, a bit more sexual, blah blah blah. But for somebody who already got their eyes used to watching Tori Wilson and Sable and all that, like none of this turns me on, bro.
Okay, bro, they're going for the younger crowd. We are they're like, okay, if you want to watch, then you watch, but we want the young kids.
Maybe like the 12-year-olds, when they see Mandy, they'll be like, oh my god.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I agree with you. The heels need to win this. Only, if anything, because this is the one where you can give it to the heels.
Yes. And of course, they've been pushing Toxic Attraction as the main draw in the women's division. They need a signature win. That's how they build up Undisputed Era for so long, right?
Yeah. I hope that they go out there and they show out and have a moment, because this is the only way. This is the only way they can make a name for themselves.
I just saw Hidayah say, "Oh my god, you too." I mean, okay, you have to understand, Hidayah. Like, this is the only time both of us can talk openly
about wrestling,
and also like a fanboy over women.
I mean, talk about their skills and
skill set. Yes,
objectively.
Because the rest of the week we are good men.
Yes, sure. Next match, and this to me might be the most well-built feud, I guess. Over poker, of all things, Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson.
I have to stop you right there, bro, because you said this could be one of the better built feuds. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
But I tell you, right, before the promo that Cameron Grimes cut this past week, it was the shittiest feud.
Okay,
so you're saying that Cameron Grimes kind of saved the day and turned it around?
Yes, this whole thing is on Cameron Grimes' back. Like, his promo on NXT actually was my favorite thing of the entire show last week. Like,
impressive.
Like that guy, like we've talked about it before, right? Like, he can make things work. You give him whatever, he'll do it. And I can't wait. And I hope to God they don't fuck him up in the main roster. But right now, he is... You can see, like, oh my God, there's so much charisma. There's so much talent there. I hope they don't fuck it up on the main roster.
I just thought of something interesting, right? I feel like Cameron Grimes' character arc or like gimmick arc is very similar to Baron Corbin. in a way that he's managed to like come out of his original gimmick, became rich, lost money, and then like he just plays so many multiple iterations of his gimmick, but he's made it work regardless of the situation.
Yeah, and the fact that they got to where they are because Duke Hudson cut his beard and hair, and then I was like, okay, like, is he just going to come out and be angry about you cut my hair? But he actually put a backstory to it, like it represents when I was poor and living in my car, all that stuff. I was like, okay, all right, I'm buying into the emotion. And talking about emotion, let's talk about the robot that is Duke Hudson. Like, I'm sorry, but his whole gimmick is fucking stupid to begin with.
Is he like Aussie or something?
Yes, I think he is Aussie, but like I cannot get into Duke Hudson. He's supposed to be this cool poker player, but then he fucking lost to Cameron Grimes at poker. The one thing that he's good at, he lost.
I thought Australians are supposed to be charming, bro.
Bro, like, okay, there's another fella that I'm starting to get very irritated by. I think he's also Australian, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Okay.
Rishi says 10 out of 10 Cameron Grimes gets screwed over in the main roster. Don't say that, please. He's too good. He's too much of a gem. This is a heavy hair match. So, Cameron Grimes bald?
I can't imagine, but I know what, if he does get bald, he will probably be able to pull it off, man. Yeah, that's how much I trust him.
Yeah, that's the thing. He will make it work. But do I care enough for Duke Hudson if he wins? Like, will I hate him more? Right now, it's not I hate him because he's such a dastardly heel. Right now, it's okay. Like, I see what they're trying to do, like try to put this guy over. But like, what do you think?
Unless he becomes bald and suddenly he got a change of character, he turns into Kane or some shit, I don't know. But I feel like the hair versus hair gimmick, right? It's the only person in peril is Cameron Grimes.
Yes. I mean, Duke Hudson. Oh, and Duke Hudson said one line during his promo too that really pissed me off, that made the match not worth anything. He said, you know what he said? He said, I wouldn't mind a bit off the top. So he's kind of implying that he wouldn't mind if his hair was shorter. So like, if you don't mind, then why the fuck is this a stipulation? Like, you know, there's no stakes.
Yeah.
I hate it
There-
when he said that line. I was like, oh my god, fuck you.
Yeah, that's the point I'm saying. Like, if it's age versus Kurt Angle, hair versus hair, both of them solid. Like, it's a thing that is in parallel. Like, for age, that is like his main feature, his hair.
Yeah.
You know, and like for Kurt Angle, he was going off his like first 2 runs as this guy. He was balding a bit, yes, we know that.
Yeah.
But like the way he stole the fact that he might lose his hair over the top.
See, that's the thing. You have someone who's like, who really can pull it off. Like, you believe like he doesn't want to lose his hair, right?
Yep.
Because he's such a manly man. Duke Hudson, the way he played it off was like, okay lor, whatever. Like, I'm like, bro, cannot. Your acting sucks balls. Especially when you're right next to Cameron Grimes, who's doing such a good job. Like, the vast difference in experience is too glaring here.
And also in personality, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have chosen anyone to work opposite Cameron Grimes as like the new talent. I don't know why Duke Hudson in particular. I would have preferred other people, you know. Even Joe Gacy would have been interesting, more interesting.
Oh god, Joe, don't even get me started already. Sean Reed thought a bit off the top was meant for Grimes. Was it? I thought he said I wouldn't. Maybe. But either way, it's still like such a like a Blair statement. You know what I mean? Like a non-statement. Like, I get that he's trying to play the cocky heel, like, oh yeah, you know, this don't faze me none. But I don't feel it.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, I mean, you're spending too long on this match, bro. It's a very insignificant match, but in the grand scheme of things, Cameron Grimes should win because I can't imagine him botak.
Bro, he's too much of a company man. At this point, I feel like he's going to lose. And like you said, he can handle the loss.
Cameron Grimes will be the new Botak Jones. Let's go.
It would be funny, like, he botak head, botak chin, but his hair still hair. And then they can
It's
continue.
like a plucked chicken, bro.
They can continue the feud, bro. Duke Hudson versus Cameron Grimes. Okay, you may have taken off my head hair, but you'll never take my chest hair. And then have Duke Hudson versus Cameron Grimes, hair versus chest hair match. Okay.
Bro, can you imagine Cameron Grimes having to go for hot wax or Brazilian wax? I don't think he can tahan, sir.
Bro, that would be hilarious, bro. I will watch that. That's it. So this is the twist. Okay, maybe instead of shaving his head, Duke Hudson takes out waxing strips. They tie him to the table and they wax his chest, bro. That's it. I just booked War Games.
I apologize, guys, for spending too long on this match. I think we shall move on.
Hey, bro, no. That is the comedy spot of the show. Hot wax on the chest. Hair versus hair. There you go, chest hair. That's the twist, bro. If they do it, I will jump up. And Mr. Young called it, okay? If this happens, Mr. Young called it.
I have a fear of hot wax, so I am going to be respectfully against this.
Okay, let's move on. Imperium, Fabian Eichner and Marcel Barthel versus Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner.
Okay, you know, three quarters of that setup is going to be amazing.
Wait. It says here, okay, I don't know why, but I think every time Kyle and Von Wagner come out, I switch off. But why does it say Imperium versus Kyle and Von Wagner or Legado del Fantasma? So it's not a triple threat, it's a 2v2.
Either or.
So
I don't know whether they had a match on NXT or something that's coming up this week.
I think
that.
I think it might be this week.
Yeah, but right now the champion is the Imperium, right?
Yes, Imperium, which is the string. They come out and they cut their promo. One fella in Italian, the other fella in German, and somehow they actually know each other what they're saying. Like, okay.
You know who I'm happy not being in this match?
Who?
MSK.
Hey,
no one gives a shit.
Do you get what their promos have been about?
Nah, not really. I don't even watch their promos. I skip.
Do you care? Okay, fine. Like, it's been this like weekly thing of where they're implying, the implication is that they have a bag of drugs or weed. Like that. No, yeah, they've been transporting this package. And then they kind of pull over by the cops. I don't make call. And then they're driving very slow. So they're implying that they're high.
I thought the review would be something stupid.
It's a spider. It's a fucking
animatronic spider.
Yeah, what's his Eric Rowan spider, bro?
Yeah.
So, and they're visiting the seer or some sort of guru. Like, who the fuck is that? It better be John Morrison if they're going on this big trip. But
I mean, clearly I haven't been watching the vignettes and skipping forward through most of NXT.
I hate to say, maybe this is the boomer in me, but it comes across as very childish.
Is this their way of trying to explore a TV-14 genre by dealing with drugs?
I get, or maybe the kids are into this culture. Maybe I'm just not hip, bro. That's what it is.
I don't know, man. I mean, our listeners not all of us are Gen Zers, but do you guys see it as entertaining, or do you even watch these segments? I don't think they do.
Like every time these segments come on, it's a mixture of morbid curiosity, and then after it finishes, I'm like, why did I waste my time on that?
I mean, why do you waste your time on it? That's the question.
I do it for you. For our listening audience, for our viewing audience, I do it for you, okay?
I have gotten messages from our listeners saying that thanks for watching Raw for us so that we don't have to.
Okay, let's move on. Actually, I'm still I'm searching NXT's website right now. NXT, like WWE's website.
To understand what's going on?
Yeah, like what? I don't see any. Oh, okay, hold on. Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner collide with Legado del Fantasma as both teams vie for NXT. So, okay, whoever wins this week's match will challenge her. That's why it is lah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who do you want to see versus Imperium?
But Legado Fantasma already had a match with Imperium, right?
Yes.
Or have they clashed before?
I don't know. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry, but Imperium without Volta is some hot shit. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, I mean, purely for novelty's sake, maybe Carl and Von Wagner. I just want to see how they work together.
Bro, it's going to be Carl and Von Wagner. Because obviously, like, the fact that Von Wagner randomly showed up on SmackDown signals to me that Vince McMahon has a hard-on for Von Wagner. And this, like, Angmo Great Khali. Because he looked like the fucking Great Khali. He looked like Angmo Great Khali.
Great Khali. That's a good one, bro.
And they are going to win the titles of Imperium because Imperium boring as fuck. I'm sorry, but like, you know, Imperium doing you Americans are uncultured because you don't speak a second language, that's been done to death. And,
so are they saying that we are cultured because both of us speak second language?
Yeah, we are very cultured. Well, I mean, that's like a whole American stereotype, right? Like they are uncultured. They only know how to speak American, right?
Yeah. You speak English in this country, yeah. That's my very terrible Texas accent.
All right. And if anything, it makes me side with Imperium more because I'm like, I agree. Yeah, I agree. They only know how to speak one language. They're uncultured. I'm cultured.
You know what? Imperium needs to welcome Walter to the main roster. Welcome Walter into the main roster.
Yeah.
And start kicking everyone's ass, bro.
Yes. I want to have Walter come in and destroy, like, you know, the new guys. Like that, I would pop.
I want a one-time Braun Breaker to finally win the NXT champion against Ciampa, right? Then straight away Walter come and interrupt. Ambil kau.
Actually, I want Volta to come before that even. I want him to show up just as Braun Breaker is like, you know, challenging, like you say, oh, I'm the next guy, but no, you have to get past Volta first. He comes in and chops the shit out of him. Like, I feel like the dislike for this new school is so strong that they're doing the perfect thing. Just have the old school guys beat the fuck out of them.
Unless they find one cool person in the new school that makes you want to root for them. Like how Rob Van Dam was in Team WCW Invasion, right?
Cora Jade, bro. For me, that's she cute. That's it.
You know what? Dante Chen.
That one will take a while.
That will take a while, yes.
I've said it before, my guy. I really hope that they work on his character and they find some place good for him because it's scary lah. At this point, it's like, you know, it really is.
Yeah, but at least we've finally have an explanation of why he hasn't been on TV for a while. I think we have to send pay our respects and condolences as well to Dante, Sean. Last week he lost his father.
That's right.
So I don't know whether he flew back to Singapore in time.
I'm not sure as well, but yeah, that's why he's been missing. And give the man his time, give the man his space to do what he needs to do.
So we do hope that everything's all right on his side, and we will always champion Dante Chen back in NXT, and he is living his father's dream, and that's all. That's the most important thing that we can take away from that.
Heck yeah. Okay, that being said, who do you want to see Imperium face? Okay, I'll just say Kyle O'Reilly, Von Wagner, because of what I just said. Vince McMahon has a hard-on for the Angmo Khali, but also Legado is
Angmo Khali.
Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza it's not. What's his face? Escobar. He's not involved. So, like, I'm sorry, but to this point, Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza still feel like the two jobbers in the group.
They don't really have that personality. I mean, like, they are no Los, what's their name?
Los Lotharios.
Los Lotharios, bro. Bro, if there was a
The
Singaporean
duo.
version, it would be us, bro.
Okay,
sure. What's Chinese for handsome? The Lost Strikers.
No, we Yentao.
Yentao.
Yentao brothers. The Yentao.
The Yuntao brothers or the Sachok bros.
We can combine that.
The Yuntao Sachok.
Okay.
Sounds like a Yong Tau Fu dish like that, bro.
Shit. Okay. I'm not that interested in this match as well. So let's move on. This match has no rhyme or reason. Okay, like Joe Gacy is a heel.
Yes.
Roderick Strong is a heel, and they're going on this whole. The cruiserweight title is not inclusive because it shames heavier people. Like, I get where that. Like, I get it. I think it's funny. It's their take on this whole woke culture, right? But at the same time, it's also I don't give a fuck about Roderick Strong. I don't give a fuck about Joe Gacy.
So you're saying Joe Gacy's entire reason for feuding is because he is offended that he can't compete for the title because of his weight?
Yeah. And so this will be for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. So what the fuck? Like, I think maybe this is like your what the fuck match, and Joe Gacy's gonna win, and it will continue with this like what the fuck? Like, how is that? Do they carry on with him? Maybe he beats up all the cruiserweights after this.
It reminds me of when Crash Holly said that he came down to the ring weighing 5,000 pounds. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? Okay. I actually do see a little bit of potential. So now he's using this wokeness to get an advantage on all the cruiserweights. If you think about it, if he does win the cruiserweight title, then what you do after that is line up a whole bunch of cruiserweights to challenge, but they keep on cannot win because he's just, has the advantage. Even though he claims, I'm doing it for inclusion.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna say something controversial. I'm thinking to myself, if Joe Gacy gets it right, if he perfects this woke culture gimmick well, he could be this generation's, wait for it, Bray Wyatt, bro.
Okay, at this point, he is this generation's right to censor. That's the vibe I'm getting. But no, I see where you're going. Like,
what I'm saying is he can create this cult like, this is a safe space.
Okay, I don't know about that. But can you imagine if all the woke culture people actually followed him? I don't think they. I think they're smart enough to realize that this is mocking them.
Yeah, but if they get offended, even better, because it's like the Dave Chappelle show. Like, they get offended by it, but it creates more buzz, and that's what WWE wants.
I feel like this is a right to censor 2.0. That's what Joe Gacy is. But is it working? Maybe.
Hopefully, it doesn't come out to very annoying theme song.
No
sirens blaring, please.
Yes. What is his theme song even? I'm sorry, but none of the new guys have memorable theme songs, huh?
Except for Dante Chan.
Yes. And
I memorized his theme.
You know, Braun Breaker has the siren in the start.
Yeah, he does.
That's a callback to Scott Steiner. Holla, if you hear me.
Where's the Steiner math, bro?
Oh God, Steiner math. I hope he does Steiner math. That would be awesome. Anyway, Roderick Strong, Joe Gacy. Honestly, if they take the cruiserweight title off of Roderick Strong and give it to Joe Gacy, it opens the opportunity for storytelling, like absurd storytelling.
He'll be the first new school wrestler to actually win a title.
Yeah, and actually not be a cruiserweight, but because he's inclusive, so I do see the potential for ridiculous storylines. Yeah. But this does Roderick Strong very dirty and does nothing for Diamond Mine.
It does. It doesn't. Yeah, you're right. Because I feel like Roderick Strong, ever since he became Diamond Mine, right? You know what he has proven? He's proven he's no Adam Cole, bro.
No, Adam. He has zero charisma.
Nothing.
Even Malcolm Bivens is like...
I think Leo Rush does Malcolm Bivens better than Malcolm Bivens himself.
Exactly. And then, I know you have the two brothers, the Creed brothers, who look impressive. There's that lady who looks impressive.
Sure, she does.
Yeah, but
Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile, yes. But yeah, really, unfortunately, even though Roderick Strong's supposed to be like, the star of that group, he's the least impressive.
It's so weird.
He looks bored.
Yeah. Oh my God, Tovakin brought up a good point there. Yeah, Ciampa did pull a Cynometh recently, right?
Oh,
Remember
did he?
a couple of weeks ago?
Oh shit, I missed it, I think. I must have missed it.
Yeah, he did that promo back on Braun Breaker. So he was like, ooh, everyone got it. The people that got it.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to say, oh shit, I completely forgot my train of thought. But before that, because you were talking about Roderick Strong, Diamond Mine, and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, you continue first. Let me think.
Okay, at this point, whenever Roderick Strong's contract is up, whenever Kyle O'Reilly's contract is up, I'm just praying they just go to AEW and reform the Undisputed Era. And then they can run roughshod. They can go and feud with the Young Bucks, the Elite. See, I want to see that.
That'll be cool because I feel like Undisputed Era, they are meant for a promotion like AEW.
Yeah.
Like it's a very indie-rific type of faction, if you think about it.
Indie-rific.
I just remembered what I wanted to say, bro.
Go ahead.
Because you mentioned Malcolm Bivens and you mentioned AEW. That I remembered that I actually listened to Chris Jericho's podcast when he just got Leo Rush on the show and they interviewed him. You know what's funny, bro?
What?
Leo Rush, before he became Lashley's manager, has never managed anybody, has never been a mouthpiece for anybody, has never cut promos before. He was purely a spot monkey kind of guy in NXT. But then, for some reason, Vince McMahon took a liking for him, and this is what he said on the podcast. He asked him to pair him up with Lashley and say, I want you to be his Kevin Hart.
Oh, right.
I want you to just talk non-stop and just be annoying like Kevin Hart because of your size. He reminds him of Kevin Hart. So I just realized two things my takeaway. First, Vince McMahon watches Kevin Hart movies.
Okay.
And secondly, I'm actually quite impressed because now we all think of Leo Rush as a talkative, like he can cut promos kind of shit, right? But he said that he was super nervous. He didn't know how to cut promos. He actually learned and like prepared and did research on Kevin Hart and tried to mimic his gimmicks just so that he can be on TV.
Wow.
So basically, he kind of got himself over purely by dedication and putting in the work in his craft to get good because he wasn't a promo guy.
Right. I think what it was too is they realized that he had the talent, right? In the ring, he can take bumps, basically. I don't know if they actually care about the fact that he could take spots, but they know that he can take bumps. So when you have an irritating manager, like that's exactly what they tried to do with Adam Cole, if you think about it. Remember, they wanted to bring Adam Cole in, but as a manager to someone like a Keith Beck-Hadley or whatever, because this is a Vince McMahon thing, you're so small, The only way you can get over is get over as a mouthpiece first, be so irritating that people want to see you get beat up, go and get beat up in the ring, and then people realize, hey, this fella can work. That's how you do it.
My favorite irritating short person was Daivari. Remember him?
Yeah, so this is like a formula that they've tried to use over and over again. The smaller wrestler that doesn't look impressive, let him be the mouthpiece and let him get beaten up because he knows how to bump.
Yeah, and of course he has showcased his immense talent in AEW with Dante Martin. So I think he definitely didn't have the right backing in WWE.
Yeah,
but definitely has a talent.
Bro, Dante Martin signed with Team Taz, bro. Big news. Whoa. I mean, okay, it's like one
Where
of those...
was that on, bro? Dark Elevation?
No, it was on Dynamite, I think.
Yeah, I saw.
You know what?
It was like a backstage segment.
I
right?
actually don't mind this feud. It's like a mid-card feud. Like, it's like, oh, he signed, really? And then Leo Rush like, what, bro? What's going on? So you probably have matches between the two. So at least you see the storylines are... Like, from top to bottom, you have like the great storylines, your Bryan Danielsons and CM Punks and whatnot. And then you have your like mid-card, like, okay, this could be interesting.
The best I could say is you're right. Like, every single person that's on the card has a story going for them.
Yep.
Even the women's, the TBS title, blah, blah, blah. No matter what, there is a story.
Oh my God. Very quickly. Riho she beat Britt Baker on Rampage.
Yeah, she won the Black Friday deal or whatever nonsense, right?
And now she has a title shot.
So, bro, they actually make Britt Baker lose for the first time in a very long time on a random Rampage because it's Black Friday.
On Friday night, I think they thought that, okay, nobody will pay attention, so let her lose to fucking Riho. I'm like, what the hell?
I mean, we all love Riho here on the show, but like Riho has had her chance. It's almost as if you know what they're trying to prove, bro.
What?
They've run through the entire roster. Now they're circling back to the
First.
previous challenges.
I'm like, oh my god, and it's not like she's been making a comeback and she's been on a win streak all of a sudden, you know? Like, no, she's just here. She's former champion and she just beat the current champion.
You know, honestly, who I would have liked to kind of go up against Britt Baker?
Who?
Because I'm starting to like enjoy her. Jamie Hayter.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, but they are the same sort of group lah. So there's a turn coming at some point, right?
I would hope so because okay, she's British, right? So that flavor is very unique in AEW. And also, bro, she kind of reminds me a bit like a young Beth Phoenix. I don't know whether you see that comparison.
Okay, I see what you mean. I mean, you know what could possibly happen? She goes to the final of the TBS title, and she doesn't win. And maybe Britt Baker fucks up something, you know, causes her to lose, that kind of a situation. And then you can start this whole like, oh, maybe Britt did it on purpose because she was jealous. She didn't want her to win the TBS title. You know, she wanted to be the only champion in this group. And that's how you turn Jamie Hayter. So now you have a fresh feud.
You're talking a Triple H Batista situation, right?
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah, so I mean, it's right there. And you give somebody else the TBS title, they can go run with it like Ruby Soho or whoever else is still in the running, right? And you get Jamie Hayter versus Britt Baker for the actual women's title. You elevate Jamie Hayter, so I mean,
at least she's new. Yeah, you know,
the best booker of 2021. Anyway,
2022 coming up, bro.
That's true. Let's talk about the last match in NXT War Games.
It's only a 5-match card or what, bro?
Yeah, so far 5-match card. Okay lah, I don't want it to be too long anyway.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
who the hell else do they have? Bro, think about it. Everyone who is in any program is involved already. Who else do they have?
Malik Blade.
Malik Blade, Dante Chen, Iron Man match. Let's go.
Let's go
to the main event. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, LA Knight, like the OGs, even though LA Knight is quite new, but I guess he's considered OG lah. Versus Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, and the two worst characters in NXT right now, Grayson Waller and Tony D'Angelo.
How the fish did they manage to go into War Games, bro?
Just because they are the chosen ones to get pushed, law. I'm sorry lah, but as this annoys me. Yeah.
If Tony D'Angelo was in the Attitude Era or even in the Ruthless Aggression Era, he would probably be FBI. He would probably be Nunzio.
Yeah. No, Tony D'Angelo stinks of the old superstars era, like, you know, I'm Italian, so I'm a mafia guy. Like, oh my god. Like,
speaking of Italian, bro, you know what? Who's the most over Italian in WWE?
Who?
Santino Marella.
Yeah.
His fucking debut in Milan, in Italy, when he got picked up from the crowd, if you remember that.
Yes.
Wow, fucking over, bro.
Yeah, and then now you have this guy. And like what he has been like since he debuted, he got involved with Lash Legend, which don't even get me started about Lash Legend. Okay, it's the worst fucking segments ever. Like, I don't know if you watch any of these Lash Legend segments.
No, bro.
She's this new, like, a female performer. Yeah, I guess, give me B-Fat better. At least she can rap, right? Yeah. So, but she does a talk show. Like, the fuck talk show? And it's not a talk show in the ring, it's all pre-taped segments. So she's talking to a bunch of, like, NXT Performance Center recruits as if she's like some Wendy Williams?
Wendy Williams.
Yeah, sort of a talk show host. What the fuck? Who?
I tell you, bro, they are hiring reality show script writers. They're hiring like all these Hollywood. And not even a good kind of Hollywood script writers, you know.
Like the C-list, D-list, E-list.
The one out of a job looking for, like, you know, maybe they wrote on Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta or whatever shit. That's the kind of standard they're looking for.
Toverkin says dollar store Oprah Winfrey. Like, really, you know, Lash Legend is like serious. I don't know how anyone can look at it and go, oh yeah, let's add that. I mean, like, fuck this shit. It's not.
We're not looking at NXT, bro. I wish they didn't call it NXT. I wish they call it something else, bro. Because it's really spitting in NXT. The vision that Triple H had for it. I don't even think Triple H would want to be in this show, managing the show.
Maybe that, you know, Scotty Too Hotty, he recently went on Twitter. He quit, right?
And did you say anything about that quitting or what?
No, he just said that he loved working with NXT for the past couple of years, but you know, when it becomes a point when it becomes a thing of you're just coming in to collect the paycheck and you no longer feel passionate about the product, it's time to leave. So it's like, so I mean, it's quite obvious that he thinks that the current product is nonsense. So
That's
he's
good.
like,
I like somebody who have convictions and like, you know what, this thing sucks. I'm gonna bye. Please.
yeah. Tovakin says, might as well bring back Eva Marie. Oh God. You know what? I would take a Eva Marie segment.
Over Lash Legend.
Yeah, because it's anyway. So yeah, Tony D'Angelo had this whole thing where he made one of her producers disappear, like because he's a mafia. Like what? Fuck off lah.
Oh, like swimming with the fishes like that.
Yeah. What are we watching here?
Oh my God!
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
And then you got Grayson Waller, who's like, is he Aussie as well?
There are a lot of Aussies, huh?
I don't care where he's from. He's fucking irritating. And what is his gimmick? His gimmick is he jumps off helicopter. He's like reckless, or he's I like. Oh, you see his promo pictures. He looks like a doofus.
I'm very surprised that we have so much to talk about NXT. But the funny thing is, NXT has not been really that newsworthy.
Yep.
It feels really like a developmental, bro.
Yeah, I wonder if they're purposely making him look like that to piss the old school fans off. So you see, I'm like getting all riled up and shit. Like Carmelo Hayes, okay, I can see the potential there, right?
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, obviously the potential, but Grayson Waller and Tony D'Angelo have been just eye-rollingly bad.
I would even rather put Joe Gacy there because at least Joe Gacy is a character.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True. No, but I think they want to go with that whole he wins the cruiserweight title.
Okay, interesting placement, but yeah, I don't think this is a War Games worthy feud. Other than the fact it's old school versus new school.
Yeah, okay.
Is this gonna be the first takeover pay-per-view where it underwhelms, in your opinion?
I think the bar is very low already. The bar is very low, so it might actually surprise us. Considering that, I mean, we have Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, LA Knight. They are there to make sure these greenhorns fucking put on a good show, okay?
Yeah,
they are gonna and this is where we take a moment to appreciate the fuck out of Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, Dakota Kai for carrying these people.
There's also news that Gargano might not be in NXT any longer. He might be leaving after his contract ends. So you have to appreciate them while they're still there, because I don't think with the current direction they're going, I don't know who will want to stay.
Yeah. If he goes to the main roster, maybe he goes to the main roster and reunites with Austin Theory.
That would be interesting. But then it will be the other way around, where Austin Theory is the main star, where Gargano is the one hyping him up. That might be the best way going forward for the main roster for them lah.
Where is Indy Hartwell and her partner, whose name I don't...
The something Priora kind of girl, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what's the situation there.
Like, haven't they been pushing them? Oh, also, haven't they been pushing the Casey Catanzaro?
Casey Catanzaro, yeah.
And what's the other girl's name?
Honestly, bro, I don't watch NXT enough to know all the ins and outs. I'm relying on you this time around. So I'm like, this is the opposite of usual.
Catanzaro and aka Ricochet's girlfriend.
Something, I know it's the Kaden Carter.
Kaden, is it? Anyway, they are like, they've tweaked their gimmick a bit, right? So they have vignettes of them going to music festivals. So they are like the music festival girls. They love music. That's their whole gimmick.
Is they go to music festivals.
Yeah,
really,
they love. Yeah, and now when they enter the ring, they come from the crowd with like these big, the guns that shoot out smoke. They do that. So they come out at the top of the NXT stage. They fire smoke and then come in like, yeah, we love to dance.
Yeah, not interested.
The oops girls. Anyway, at least they've been pushing them.
Did they go to Astro World then, bro?
Fuck, I don't know, but they are the music festival girls. So
oh man, the way you sold it, right? Even you try to hype it out, so I'm like completely.
Bro, it's stupid. I'm not hyping it. I'm just telling you what it is.
I know,
anyway,
but it's making me turn off even more.
Okay, War Games. Who wins this? New school, old school? I know who you want. We all want the old school to win.
Old school. New school will give a good performance. It will be almost to the end, but old school's gonna win out.
Okay, yeah, I will have to agree. You need to wrap up your pay-per-view with a high and a positive note. And let's face it, in this case, the old school are the faces. They are going to try to put Braun Breaker over as hard as they possibly can here. Like, he's the one, right?
I mean, I'm looking for a breakout performance for him. I'm looking for a breakout performance for Toxic Attraction. And if they can do these two things, I'm happy.
Okay. My hope is that Toxic Attraction don't fuck up too much. That's all I hope for. I'm not looking for breakout. Okay, my bar is very low. On the other end, I hope that they don't injure the veterans. That's all I hope.
Inshallah, that's what they say.
Okay, so
God willing.
Yes,
God wills.
That's War Games for you.
Yes.
I mean, we're still going to watch it. We'll review it next Monday, obviously, on the podcast. But, you know, here's the thing, right? And then they release the season 2 of Ruthless Aggression right after Survivor Series.
Yes.
And having watched that, like I told you, I tried to binge the hell out of it. I'm like, I feel sad. Because my memories of that era are so much better than what I think of this era right now.
And it's weird because when we were living through the Ruthless Aggression era, we were always comparing it with Attitude Era and saying like, oh man, this is not the same, no Rock, no Austin. But there was a lot of great things from the era as the season shows.
Here's the thing though, like just thinking back about the Ruthless Aggression era, and maybe this is rose-tinted glasses, right? But I don't remember ever feeling like, oh, this sucks compared to the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? Like, I actually was still excited about people like, you know, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
They were there already. Like, you had these stars there. Like, and you had so many. And even people like Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, world's greatest tag team. Or Rey Mysterio. You know, you could see like, oh yeah, there's so many exciting things bubbling under.
For me, it has a special place in my heart because clearly I grew up in the Attitude Era, in the Ruthless Aggression era. Attitude Era was slightly a bit too young. It was like at the tail end.
Yeah.
But most of my formative memories was definitely seeing like Randy Orton coming up.
Yeah.
I remember in 2005, I was only 13 years old at that point in time, right? I was legitimately excited that the final 2 of that Royal Rumble was Batista and John Cena. So you see the difference here, bro? They are young and up and coming stars, but they really had fans. We really wanted to see them on top.
Ooh.
I don't see anyone in this generation where they are young, they are coming up, but I want to see them on top.
Braun Breaker, bro. Okay, is it then an issue where you have your developmental, but it's also on TV? So all their flaws are being shown to the, you know, like the hardcore wrestling fans like us. Like we never saw much of Leviathan, of John Cena, of Shelton Benjamin before they debuted. So, I mean, they debuted teething issues and all that stuff, right? They still needed years to build, but at least they already had like the foundations. Yeah. Whereas now we are seeing people green as grass.
This is the Jim Cornette argument that he brought up. She's saying that if you're going to make it developmental for NXT, then take NXT off USA Network.
Yeah, but then USA won't
expose them.
USA won't be happy about that, lah. So they've
of course, lah.
They
kind of give them what?
Yeah, they've kind of dug themselves in a weird position, right?
Yeah, they did. The problem is WWE swung one way for a couple of years and then swung the completely opposite direction. And I commend USA Network for being such a patient network
and supportive
with their idiosyncrasies. But if it was any other place, they will be like, no, you guys are completely shitting the bed lah.
So okay, this season 2, if you guys haven't watched, by the way, includes first episode was Hollywood Rock, so that era of the Rock. Then what was the second episode already?
The second episode was Innovations. Okay, so they were talking about, other than Elimination Chamber, talking about Money in the Bank as well, right? They talk about Raw Roulette,
yeah. And then the third episode was the women? The Revolution?
Yes, the first Revolution.
The first Revolution. So they covered things like Lita and Trish, Mickey James, stuff like that. Victoria, Molly.
No, the first that they had in that era, like the cage match that they had. And also, I think what I really remember was Survivor Series 2002, where Victoria and Trish Stratus had a pretty violent, hardcore match.
That's right.
Respect.
I still remember that Raw when Trish went up against Lita. It was the first time 2 women had main evented Raw. And man, when they played clips of that, I was like, oh, it takes me back, man. And I tell you what, that's the JR that I remember fondly. The passion, like when he sees something good, he can't contain himself. Like he'll call it to the best of his ability. And all the best to JR. Like, I mean, right now he's taking a break off television because he needs to go for chemotherapy for his skin cancer. So recently, you know, wish him all the best.
Yeah, he was the best lah. Even as later on in his career, like even when he was calling, I remember when he was calling the triple threat match, Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, like the way he hyped up every single character, you know, the cerebral assassin, the heart of a warrior. Shawn Michaels has the heart of a warrior.
Yep.
Chris Benoit, the 18-year odyssey.
Yeah.
Finally, like just such epic words that he uses, you know, for the show.
He knew how to paint a story as opposed to calling every move flying jalapeno or the burrito lock or whatever bullshit, which is, you know, not a slight at Excalibur. Well, yes, it is. Okay.
I do not know. Yeah, I do not know whether like the new commentators in both WWE or AEW can create that type of storytelling, you know, like that kind of like painting the picture, expressing it with the words, creating the hype.
Michael Cole does a decent enough job of it, but I think Corey Graves has the best shot at, you know, quote unquote replacing. I don't think anybody can replace, but you know, to me, Corey Graves is the one.
My problem with Corey is he might be a bit too cool.
Oh,
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Like,
because if he's too cool, right, he will play Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
But he won't be Jesse Ventura. He won't be Gorilla Monsoon. It's more of like the gravitas, you know.
So you need a everyday man who is a big fan of the
kind of like.
Because okay,
Mauro Ronaldo lah.
Yeah, you're right, Mauro Ronaldo. Because like Michael Cole comes across more like a professional reporter because that's his background as well, right?
Yes,
he doesn't have that connection where okay lah, sort of like how do I say it nicely? Because like JR has that whole like he got a bit of southern accent, and you know he like friendly guy, like you know he wears
around the edges.
He wears a cowboy hat, so he's very relatable to that audience, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I feel like he also has a lot of stroke in terms of the talent that he brought in. So I think he got a stake in making them look good.
Yep. True. Whereas now the announcers are just, you know, and they don't have any stake because they are not talent relations.
But of course we do respect Michael Cole because at the end of the day, Michael Cole was part of some of the biggest Attitude Era moments, but we don't really talk about it. He was the one that called Mick Foley winning his first title. You know what I mean?
It's always a case of we'll look back and go, actually, he was not bad.
Yeah.
You know? And the last episode was OVW / securing the future, which is ironic considering what's going on now. I mean, I guess you could consider them securing the future with people like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Joe Gacy.
Yeah. Very interesting that they brought up not just OVW, but they talk about how they went through different types of avenues to get new talent. So they even talk about the Diva. I don't know whether the Diva search was part of the Women's Evolution page.
I think they talk a bit about both. So, but they put it more towards the Divas Evolution one.
Yeah, but like they had Tough Enough, they had FCW, OVW, and that was interesting because WWE didn't have its own like WWE power plant. So even then, even in 2000s where they didn't have a proper system, they could still create great talent.
Yeah.
So I'm almost frustrated why, like now they had a performance and they got no excuse not to create even better talent.
Maybe because we watch NXT. Maybe if we don't watch NXT and then they debut completely fully formed, then we're like, okay, you know, like we are getting this extra look into like the developmental process that was never there in the OVW, FCW, Stamford training facility power plant era.
You're right, like you have a good point. And also I feel like I mean, we talk about ruthless aggression throughout this season, throughout this year. Remember we did that one episode with Nadia?
There's one more episode I missed. The return of Shawn Michaels.
Oh yes! Oh shit! I completely forgot about that. Yeah. But yes, when we were talking with Nadia from a couple of months back, and the great thing about those eras was there was a lot of continuity from the ruthless from the Attitude Era to the ruthless aggression era in terms of the wrestlers. That it felt like that when the new stars came up, it felt natural. It wasn't such like a crazy divergent like how NXT is right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, to be fair, we still have people like Randy Orton,
And
Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar.
no, that's my point. Okay, I know where the string got broken, bro.
Yeah. The PG era, bro.
It's the whole PG era, the whole John Cena era, because they couldn't make their stars. If they brought up CM Punk, if Alberto Del Rio didn't fuck up,
Yeah. Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, a lot of things that kind of like could have like bridged the gap between those two eras, but sadly they didn't push them well or didn't do a good job.
So, okay, are we saying that the PG era is responsible for the bullshit we are seeing right now, the ripple effect? Because it's not like an immediate thing, but yeah, that era they didn't, build up the new stars, and therefore right now there are no ready stars.
Yeah. There was an entire main event of WrestleMania centered around. They reframe it and make it like sound like very happening at the episode where they say, it all culminated in WrestleMania 27, where they had one guy from OVW, one guy from Tough Enough, one guy from the Stanford training ground, all main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But essentially what that meant was The Miz was the only viable contender to John Cena at that point in time.
Right.
No one else was over enough.
Yeah, and we see the repercussions today lah. In that, you got your Drews, you got your Lashleys, they had their moments, but are they really standout stars? The only one right now in the WWE, Roman Reigns. Who else? Big E is sort of, I'm a bit worried for Big E.
Seth Rollins is a bit like he was not the main guy lah.
No,
he's a number 2, number 3.
Yeah, he's a very good heel. Like he's a very good foil for the main guy.
Would you say he's a Triple H of this generation?
Yeah, I mean, and he's very connected to Triple H as well, so it makes sense if you think about it, right? Like he will always be there. So yeah, who is that next guy actually the women, Becky Lynch. So you got Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch, and then Charlotte is the heel. So you do have some, I guess. Let's not discount it, because I feel like when we think about it, we might, not think of, because for so many generations we didn't think about the women at that level, but now, especially in this generation, they are at that level. In fact, a lot of times the Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair match and feud was more compelling than anything else on Survivor Series.
I'm not discounting that the talent that is there. The talent is there. What is lacking is the storylines and the reason to get invested in them.
The storytelling, at the end of the day,
it is a storytelling at the end of the day.
So that's why I say just watching this Ruthless Aggression era. Which is your favorite episode, by the way?
I really like Innovations because I kind of forgot a lot of the things that was debuted in the Ruthless Aggression era. Like even some people have issues against Elimination Chamber, but I remember the build up to Elimination Chamber the first time when Eric Bischoff announced it. They did it to counter the previous month's pay-per-view. Do you remember Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker at No Mercy?
Yes.
SmackDown knocked it out of the park. It was a SmackDown only event, and then Eric Bischoff was like, you know what, Raw is gonna do one better. We're gonna create our own Hell in a Cell. So that anticipation, and if you remember all the hype packages, they had like the 10 tons of steel, 16 miles of chain. They make it look so fucking epic, like some World War shit that was happening. Like, I respect the fact that it can last all the way until now.
Yeah, true. I like the episode as well. Here's the thing about a lot of this Ruthless Aggression stuff, right? Season 2 to me was not as exciting as Season 1 because a lot of the stuff we've seen before in other documentaries, like the Shawn Michaels stuff, it's like a lot of it was a retread because
A&E did it already.
Yeah, you've seen 1,000,001 Shawn Michaels documentary that already covered this. Same for The Rock. So it's like even the OVW stuff, because we listen to other podcasts like Jim Cornette or Bruce Pritchard's podcast, then we know a little bit about OVW already.
Yeah, even if like a lot of the things was retread, right? I did like the fact that they make a series about it, so that now, like, if anytime I want to go Ruthless Aggression era, literally I can just click on the network and it's all nicely packaged,
right?
To go and find from different sources.
Exactly. But here's, what is my favorite original series on network? It's not even Attitude Era.
What is it?
It's WWE versus WCW Monday Night Wars.
That
series I've watched 3 times.
Like back to back to back.
I say no, I'll watch it like whole season, then I'll like a few months later watch it again, sort of thing. Like when I'm bored. Like it's literally to me the best storytelling because it was real. So, bro, in a way, we are living through right now something similar that in about 20 years' time we might look back and go, holy shit.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. And also one more thing, bro. When you said there wasn't an Attitude Era documentary series.
No.
I know there was like a documentary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was like 1 or 2 documentaries. You're right.
Yeah, but essentially so before Ruthless Aggression series, I think the WWE, the Monday Night Wars was the Attitude Era Chronicle of that time period. And you're right in the sense that we are living through it now. I think that's why I'm more excited for AEW, because whatever AEW is doing is new. They are creating the so-called competition, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm appreciative, because I've never gone through. You've lived through Monday Night Wars,
but not really, because I was one of those guys that only watched WWE. I rarely ever watched WCW. Rarely. Yeah. So I wasn't that like quote unquote woke to the business or smart to the business.
Did you follow like the results, or do you have any way to know what's going on?
No, I didn't. Yeah, because the internet wasn't even that big at the time. Like you had to go out of your way to read a magazine or watch like, when is WCW Nitro coming on, that kind of stuff.
A very, very interesting point then. So so not a lot of people, especially in the current generation, have lived through a war, so-called like a competition era. So the next few years, if nothing else, even if WWE has been not doing so well or not really giving us what we want, but there's so many other options everywhere else. So I think the next couple of years, what will be interesting for us, wrapping up, is that where does WWE stand in 5 years' time? Are they still going to be the market leader, or will they be overtaken?
I don't think they'll be overtaken anytime soon, but they'll definitely feel the heat lah. And I think that they do realize it, and they're gonna push themselves, hopefully push the product forward a little bit.
Let me ask you an interesting question. Would you say that wrestling right now is more interesting than UFC?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. There's always more interest when there is more drama. And you like Conor McGregor is sort of like, not here, not there.
The lightning rod. He used to be the lightning rod that made people watch UFC.
There's no more Ronda Rousey. You need these central figures, characters, to draw interest. Yeah, I haven't watched UFC in a while. I don't know who all the new guys are.
Honestly, after Khabib left last year, I haven't followed. Just eyeball the product.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jin Long brings up a good point, and it leads us to our next little thing. Okay, is that all we're going to talk about for Ruthless Aggression? Because, it's a great series. Go watch it if you haven't already. But I wonder if they'll ever do a PG era series.
The PG era, I don't know how they're going to spin it into a positive, but sure, they can try.
Yeah, right. Jin Long says Jeff Hardy is the only Attitude Era superstar left standing. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
She's
you're right. Yeah. Jin Long, you're
right.
right.
Like the next person is Randy Orton, and he's technically more Ruthless Aggression.
Okay. Bro.
And thanks for the segue, Jin Long.
That's not true, bro. You know who else is not just Attitude Era, bro? Golden Era, bro.
Don't tell me.
Who?
Don't tell me it's Vince.
Mr. McMahon. I mean,
Bro,
he was
he's
just
like-
on Survivor Series, bro.
He's got at this point in time, bro.
Find my egg. Oh, you stole my egg. I like you. You get the title shot. The fuck?
He is the Eternals, bro. He's just there, but never do anything.
He will bro, he's not. No, he do everything, bro. He top sell a lot, bro. Fucking one egg. Give anyway. Let's not go
Who's
there.
the Eternals? God, the one that controls the Eternals. I forgot his name.
Oh, the Celestial lah.
He's a Celestial.
I
in this
don't know
pod.
lah, bro. I his name too cheap already. But yeah.
Okay. But Jin Long brought up a great segue. I think the last part of the thing to wrap up the podcast is talking about. Like, do you watch a bit of Broken Skull sessions with Jeff Hardy?
I did not, and I can't lie. I'm not interested.
It's okay. I don't blame you. But my most interesting takeaway.
Yeah. Did you watch it? Was it interesting?
Yeah, it was. Of course, it was. It was. I mean, it's Stone Cold and Jeff Hardy. I mean, Jeff Hardy maybe.
Well, there's like, remember when the Bailey episode came out, and I didn't have any expectations from it, but when the interview happened, I was like, oh, okay, this is really good. Versus the Sasha Banks episode, which I thought would be interesting, actually it was kind of meh. So when you compare it like that, where does the Jeff Hardy episode stand?
I would say it's a cross between the Bailey and Bobby Lashley episode. Okay, okay. So how when Bailey was like no expectation, but it was good, right?
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley was like you thought he was gonna be a boring guy, but he suddenly have so much personality.
Yeah.
When he's being himself.
Okay.
So Jeff Hardy was refreshingly very honest and open about his drug use, what he was up to, why he was in this situation. He also was very, very honest about like where he is in his career. Like he knows he's jobbing right now. So he said that his one and final, he said he got one big run left in him, and he said he just wants a chance to work with Roman Reigns.
Oh.
And if you think about it, right, bro, he's actually one of the only faces on SmackDown that I think legitimately the crowd can get behind fighting Roman Reigns, even though he doesn't win.
Yeah.
But I think because of the crowd support, he can do that.
He wasn't he in his hometown last SmackDown, and they popped hard for him.
Yes, they did, and they kind of teased him by making him win the Rumble only at the last minute to get overthrown by Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
But okay, so a couple of things that I learned from the show. First of all, he has never pitched an idea directly to Vince McMahon. He's always relied on his brother Matt.
Oh, it shows. It's quite obvious, actually.
Yeah, it shows. So like Matt was always the guy who was fighting hard for him during the Hardy Boys era. Even when he was a singles run, it was always Matt that was like shooting ideas for him. So he said him being away from Matt is actually good and bad. Good in the sense that he had to take ownership of himself now. Bad in the sense that he's never had the chance to develop a relationship with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So that shows, right? And secondly, one thing I never knew about about him as a person was that he got into the grass cutting landscaping business thingy.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. If you watch him in TNA or what, like there was a couple of shots when they were doing the broken segments.
Yeah.
Woke Matt Hardy and all that. And they shot it in his backyard, right? And all the backyards are all like manicured and had designs on it. Do you remember? Have you seen some of the landscape that he's done?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so all that things, right? He actually did it as a way to kind of like help with his therapy. Because what happened was like, when he left WWE in 2009, I think he was like, he kena arrested. I think he got caught by bringing illegal drugs.
Okay.
So he told this story to Stone Cold that there was one night, he had a ton of like illegal drugs stashed in his house, and he woke up to a hostage situation, like not a hostage, like like all the SWAT team go into the house, down, move. So he and his wife and his dog was held in gunpoint by like a bunch of police officers.
Walao.
Yeah, and he spent the night in jail.
Okay.
So that was quite kind of like the wake up call for him to stop taking drugs at that point in time. What is Jinglong saying? I'm seeing a lot of messages from him.
The Hardy compound fight, Doverkin says. Yeah, look, I mean, at the end of the day, right? Here's the thing with Jeff Hardy too. Like, his story has been told many times for any fan of the WWE, for longtime fans like us, I suppose. Yep. So to me, a lot of it is not new. So did you learn anything new other than the landscaping business? The Hardy Landscaping Company will swanton your lawn. And
a lot of retread for sure. But I think what that was new is probably where he is at in his life right now, about how he sees himself ending his career.
You see, like he's always been like that sort of more artistic, like or free spirit sort of guy. So it doesn't surprise me in the least bit that he had developed no relationship with Vince or pitch ideas, because he's just like living in his own head. He's a very creative guy, and this is how he expresses it, right? The problem is, I don't know if he realizes that when I watch him in the ring now, it feels like watching Undertaker wrestle, as in the damage he's caused to his body over the years for our entertainment. Don't get me wrong. I respect Jeff Hardy for what he's done in the business. Yep. But at this point, it's like watching The Undertaker wrestle. Like he can't move. He
can't give you the Jeff Hardy that we know and come to love, right?
Yeah.
That's the point,
right?
Right?
And that's the thing, because he didn't develop that sort of over-the-top character or a character that you could connect with per se. He was always this sort of like wispy, like, oh, what is he? Oh, mysterious, right? And so when he goes into the ring and I don't feel any connection to what he does anymore. Like that, even in the Battle Royale, obviously a Battle Royale is there to cover up, like he doesn't have to do that much. But whenever he did anything, he looks like he's in pain all the time, and I don't think it's selling, bro. He looks like he's like,
Bro, 20 plus years of him doing that, bro. Respect,
yeah, I know. And then like, you know, when he goes for the whisper in the wind, and I remember when he used to scale the turnbuckle like nothing, and then now when he does it, he literally climbs.
He has to climb out, right?
And then does the. I mean, like, kudos that he can still do it, but at the same time, like, maybe he needs to retire or go over to AEW, re-tag with Matt, and yeah, let the new guys do the flips. Y'all do character work.
You know what? I really think that he can't. Okay, I might think he have one last big run in him in terms of like a world title program, just for that send off, just for him to wrap up his career in WWE. But you're right, lah. He's not the Jeff Hardy of 20 years ago for sure.
But okay, like if he has a program, for example, with Roman Reigns, right? Like I kind of wouldn't want to watch it because we all know this is going to be you know,
a temporary feud.
Yeah, like when they put Finn Balor up against Roman Reigns, it's like, you know that this is to give Roman Reigns time. You know, there's no, unless they really build it, like somehow bring back like emotional videos and testimony and stuff like that. But like, you know, he's never been a great promo. You know, he's they need to do like fucking amazing packages, so he doesn't need to talk that much. Yeah.
Clearly, they do have a lot of footage they can play around with to bring back his history.
Yeah.
But Jeff Hardy is one of those kind of guys. He's like, he will always be a fan favorite, like based on his past. No matter what he does in the future, we will still remember him for what he did in his past.
And then he goes in the ring and works, and then it's like slow motion. He looks like he's in pain, bro.
Clearly, you know, Ricochet has taken over the mantle of like Daredevil, high flyer in WWE.
Yeah,
Sport Monkey, yes. So like, he doesn't need to be doing what he is. Like what you say, keep him doing character work. When it's time for him to retire the next couple of years, we will be there for him. And that's it lah. Go into the sunset. Have a chill life.
Swanton into the sunset, bro.
He everywhere he swanton lah, bro.
That's his thing, right?
Oh dear God.
I mean, okay lah. Saying all that, I'll still probably watch the episode, you know, at some point this week when I find some free time. But be that as may, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of this week of wrestling. Next week we will once again come on and review NXT War Games.
We will. And since I don't know whether there will be a lot of things in the news cycle, but next week, right, bro, there is a very interesting occasion, bro. A very interesting nugget of trivia. You might be interested in this, bro.
What's this?
It's the 20th anniversary to the day where Chris Jericho wins Vengeance, the world title and WWE title.
He became the first undisputed champion.
Yes, and he beat The Rock and Stone Cold on the same night, which he hasn't stopped talking about since then. I mean, it'll be an interesting time to relive that, or even do a watch along, depending on if there is any news cycles or not.
Yeah, I don't know if we have time to do a watch along because I'm sure War Games will take up like an hour and a half already. We're going to have a lot to say.
Yeah, hopefully. And also, the week after, on the 13th of December, that will be our season finale for season 4. So I think we've gone through the entire year in just one season, bro.
I know, right?
Yeah, so wrapping up at 45 episodes. I think that will be another great fun one. We'll be reviewing the year.
Oh, our year-end Kick to the Gut Awards. Are we bringing them back? Do we have trophies, mate?
I think we should not have trophies. Probably send, no, I do nowadays. We send e-gifts.
Can we do a virtual NFT? We create NFT. Do you know how to create NFT or not, bro? I don't know.
Let's do a virtual award show, which is what we do every day, every week with the podcast anyway. So yeah, we'll review the year and also talk about our favorite matches, favorite wrestlers, favorite moments, blah blah.
And then you watch the last Raw or the last Dynamite of the year. They have like the best match.
Walao, and then we completely ignore it until next year. And of course, we have to talk about Winter is Coming, but we only preview it because I think the last 2 weeks of December, let's take a break.
Yeah, we need a break. We need to relax, chill. But we'll still have more content, so be sure, if you haven't already, hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Get your friends to do it as well. We're going to put out more short form videos for you in the next year or so. So yeah, stay right here, man. It's going to be fun. Like, we have so many things planned. We're very excited.
Yeah, man. Those of you on the chat, please like this video and please share. Now you can do YouTube link on Instagram story, bro. So
Yeah,
easy for you guys to
sweet.
go to our page.
Hey, Irvin, don't worry about being late. You can always watch the video on demand. Or if you don't want to see our handsome faces, remember what was that? The Yen Tao's. What we supposed to call
No,
ourselves?
you call yourself. I call myself Sachok Boys. You call yourself what?
The Sachok Tao Boys.
Sachok Tao Boys.
Yeah, to fight Los Lotharios for the most handsome tag team. Anyway, you can always listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you get your podcasts from. So there you go.
Man.
And come chat with us on our Instagram page, Kick to the Gut on Instagram, Facebook. We're there as well, but I mean, we are not boomers, so we don't do Facebook that much.
Yeah, we don't do Facebook. Yeah, we can retire our Facebook page, but sure, we still keep it updated, lah.
Yeah. Instagram though, that's where we are most active. Okay, anything you want to plug before we go, bro?
No, not yet. But I will probably might plug something next week because I might be shooting something this weekend. Hint.
Okay, go listen to Deadlock. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube as well. If you don't know how to spell Deadlock, alamak. Deadlock. There you go.
Yeah, man. If you know how to spell FRGN, please FRGN Deadlock. You can
Okay.
find the song.
Yeah. There you go. And I will be playing games on my Twitch channel later on this evening from 7 p.m. onwards. Okay, Mr. Young 98, because I'm from Power 98. I'm not because I was born in 98. Everyone asks me that question, by the way. When they
I heard about that joke.
Yeah.
I like, hey, you born 98.
I wish, bro. I wish.
No, you don't. Later you miss the Attitude Era, bro. No,
Oh,
it's okay.
that's. I can watch documentaries about the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
if there's anything great about the WWE Network, is that, well, all the eras are on there. You just have to go through it slowly.
Yeah, and have someone who can educate you on it. Huh?
Yeah. Actually, just watching the Ruthless Aggression era stuff, like, I actually really want to go back. And very quickly, I'm a little bit peeved that they didn't bring up like some of my favorite lower mid-card guys, like Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble,
yeah. You know what? I would have loved an episode, but I know they will never do it.
Yeah.
Just an episode dedicated to Muhammad Hassan.
Oh my god. Yeah, the undercut people. Like they don't. Somebody should do a documentary about the undercut folk.
For sure, man. For sure.
Like Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang.
Do you remember the Jimmy Wang Yang?
What about Funaki, bro? Tajiri, bro.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Simon Dean.
Put some respect on your lower mid card and lower card, man.
We should put some respect on the juniors division, bro. They even had a midget division for a while.
Oh shit, I remember. Okay. All that is a completely different episode altogether.
Man.
But lots of things to look forward to, and then we'll be back next year, of course. But yes, next week, War Games.
Yeah, man. Hopefully it will be a good war game, so we will be excited to come on the show.
Bro, set bar low. Bar very low. Very low, so your expectations can jump low bar. Okay, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Enjoy your week ahead, guys.